you, Father. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Please take your seat very briefly. Let's see the book of Revelation chapter 3 verse 2. Now I'm preaching to you. Revelation 3:2. It says, wake up and strengthen what remains that is about to die. For I have not found your works complete in the sight of my God. Wake up. Be watchful and strengthen the things which remains that are ready to die. For I have not found thy works perfect before God. I am briefly preaching a message that I to prophesy to what you have left. What did I say? Prophesy to what we have left. The Lord spoke to me, said, so many of us are mad at what we don't have. So many of us are mad for what we don't have. Just in case you are desiring God to give you a car, you don't have that car, you become mad. You're desiring God to give you a particular, maybe a visa or house or something, you don't have it, you become mad. So many of us are mad because of what we don't have. The devil is in the business of making us not to see what God has done for us. He is always making us to see what we have not received from God. For everything you desire God to do for you, which physically you've not seen, there are things that God has done. But you see, the devil is engaging us in seeing what God has not done. He's always showing us what God has not done. He's always showing us our lapses and our mistakes of the things that we have not seen. He is not showing us what God has done. When the devil shows you what you don't have, he does three things. Number one, it kills your faith in God. When the devil shows you what you don't have, it does three things. Emphatically, number one, it destroys your faith in God. When the devil succeeds in showing you what you don't have, and you begin to see it that way, the first thing it does is that it destroys your faith in God. Number two, it makes you feel bad of yourself. But all these prayers and all this commitment to God have not still received what God, it makes you feel bad. As if maybe you are just wasting your time serving God. Number three, it makes you complain so that he can destroy your joy. These are the three things that the devil does. I mean, these are the three things that happens when he shows you what God has not done. He kills your faith. It makes you feel bad. You're a human being. And it makes you complain. And once you complain, friends, he destroys your joy. And I'd like to let you know quickly that the joy of the Lord is your strength. In other words, the fuel you and I need to drive the vehicle of our destiny is the joy of the Lord, not fasting and prayers. The moment your joy is truncated, your destiny vehicle is destroyed. The moment you feel sad over the things of God, you're no more having what I call contentment. It begins the reduction of the grace of God upon your life. The joy of the Lord is my strength. The vehicle, the fuel that energizes my destiny is the joy of the Lord, not fasting and prayers. The fuel I need to take off is nothing but the joy of the Lord. And so when the devil shows you what God has not done in your life, you're believing God to have been pregnant now, and you're not pregnant, the devil will tell you, you see what I'm saying? He wants to show you you can't be pregnant. That's a lie. You're trusting God for a release or breakthrough, and it has not happened to you up till now. He wants to show you, you see, you're prickless. You can't have anything. You're trusting God for a job, and job has not given to you up till now. You don't have a job. He will show you, see, you're jobless. So when he succeeds in showing you that, he has done these three things that are very serious. And you should look at it, because some of us here, our faith in God is damaged. Some of us, we are always feeling bad over everything that happens around us. That's the devil at work. And some of us, we are complaining over everything that happens around us. And can I say this to you that's going to shock you? Every time you complain, you remain where you are. To complain is to remain. Let us begin to jettison and debunk the spirit of complaint. Complaint is a deadly satanic arrow against the church, against you and I, that whenever you complain over things happening around you, you don't progress. To analyze progress is to paralyze progress. You are busy analyzing everything around you, you don't go forward. I came to realize that whenever I waste time to analyze something, I see myself not progressing. Because life is all about risk. If you don't take risk, I pity you, because you soon go out of this world. It is better to do something great and fail than to stay and watch something great and you're not succeeding. It is better to try and you cannot succeed than you are not even trying, you're there talking. Everything around you, you talk. But what have you really done? So it is time for you to jettison complaint. If it's not happened today, it will happen tomorrow. If it's not happened tomorrow, it will happen next tomorrow. As long as you wake up in the morning and your eyes are opened, your ears are hearing, your body is working, it means you still have another chance to walk. Am I communicating now? There are people that slept that couldn't wake up, so their own is ended. So no matter what has happened to you in life, if you try and then open your eyes, you are waking up, it means God still has another chance for you to do something. So stop complaining and start working. Am I communicating now? Now, God told me something very profound. It's good I say it. God said to me, it is time to speak to what is left that you have. Not to complain and not to look down on it. Proverbs chapter 18 verse 19 says, death and life is in the power of the tongue. It means that whatever I say is what I see. And whatever I see is what I seize. Listen to this. The intercontinental ballistic weapon God has given to us is not anything, not gun, not armor, not armory, not any pump anywhere. It is our mouth. This is why I say death and life is in the power of the tongue. So your tongue can turn you and your tongue can tongue you down. Whatever you say can change you, it can mar you. It doesn't matter whatever anybody has said. That's what the Bible says, that you are not made by the saying of a man. You are made by your own saying. God's word says in the book of Numbers, what you say, I will do, not what they say. So anybody can say, but what you say, I will do. So God is obliged. God is having responsibility to doing what you are saying. So what are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying? You see, you can't receive from God when you are saying the wrong thing and you're doing the right thing. Because what you're saying matters a lot. Death and life. Death and life. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. And they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So you eat based on what you say. In Proverbs, in Romans chapter 4:17, paraphrase, God calling those things that be not as if they are. God calling those things that be not as if they are. Now, God came into the beginning and found out that the earth was chaotic. The earth was formless. The earth has nothing. There was darkness all over the world. And that he refused to complain over the darkness of the world. He refused to begin to complain and say, oh, why is the earth like this? He spoke light. He saw the earth was nothing to write. He called those things that be not. Listen to me. It is time for you to begin to call the things that be not as if they are. The way you want to live your life, call it in the realm of the spirit. You don't equate your life based on the physical barometer, whatever you're seeing around you. Whatever you're seeing around you is a fact, it's not the truth. Whatever you see move around you is a fact, not the truth. Now listen to this. God spoke and said, let there be light. And it says, he called those things that be not as if they are. It is written, I have made thee a father of many nations before him whom he believes. Even God, who quickeneth the dead and calleth those things in plural, which be not as if they are, as though they were. In past tense, he began to call them. He began to call them. You can call your children into your womb You can call your prosperity into your pocket. You can call things. You can call things. You are always bothered about what you are seeing. What you're seeing is temporal. What is not happening, what you're not seeing is permanent. A lot of people call all sort of nonsense. It is time for you to call. In Mark chapter 11 verse 22, if you say to this mountain, God's word says, be thou removed and be thou cast into the sea, and believe in your heart and shall not doubt, you will receive whatever you say. Verily I say unto you, that whosoever means it is not your tribe, it is not your size, it is not your educational background. Whosoever means anybody shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed and be cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart. So it means that doubt begins from the heart. To doubt begins from the heart. Begins from the heart. Listen to this. Defeat begins from the heart. This is why any battle you lose in the mind, you lose it in the physical. Anything that you adhere to in the spiritual, you lose in the physical. Battle of war, winning or triumph begins from in the spiritual. We live in the physical. We manifest in the physical, but we live in the spiritual. In other words, as a man, I am a spirit living in this world. Now, until I try to remove what I go through in the physical and dictate it to the spiritual, then I won't win my battle. Leave that scripture there. That whoever does not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he said shall come to pass, he shall have whatever he said. So, whatever you receive is based on what you say. Am I communicating now? It is time not to complain about what you don't have. It is time to speak to what you have left, what you have left. It is time to speak, no matter how small they are, so that God can multiply it. I hear God telling me, and I wrote it down, I will use what you have left and bless you. Am I communicating? I will use what you have and bless you. I remember one of my daughters here in church here, I don't want to call names. She was telling me about the husband, where the husband was working issues and stuff like that. So I called the husband, we spoke. And I told him, I said, I'm going to be praying with you for 3 days. I'll come to your office. He's a director where he was working and he was not receiving anything. Everywhere was tough. One man stood on his way. Nothing was happening. And so of course he was complaining normally. Now he was thinking of either to leave or to, make another transfer. I went to his office. I said, sir, listen to this. Don't complain. God brought you here for a purpose. This same office will give you everything you need in this life. This same office. He was looking at me. I said, the man who was even fighting him is a believer, a Christian. I don't want to call the name of any church. So it was like perturbed. Why should a Christian be attacking me? What belongs to me will cease. I said, forget it. God brought you here for a purpose. 3 days I will be praying for you. I'll pay my transport, carry my car, go to his office. I'll enter his office. We'll sit down. I'll begin to pray. I will leave. And then I spoke to him on the last. I said, sir, I am seeing light shining. Don't see anything. In the midst of darkness, I'm seeing light shining. And I left him. After those period of prayers, all the testimony was hearing. In fact, all his ways brought. In fact, they started bringing. When a man has got into the position of a director, you're supposed to be having a lot of things at your own disposal. Responsibility, this man will hold it and will not give it to him. All of a sudden, his way poop open. House he was building for a long time that he couldn't, because of money. Of course, he was not having so much money again. He couldn't leave the house. The house is about to be completed now. Money was coming anywhere, everywhere. Then of recent again, the wife called me and said, there is a particular vehicle they're supposed to give to him. And this same man, another man, they are holding it. Then I spoke to him. I called him. I said, sir, don't bother. That vehicle they will give to you will be better than the ones any other person has. It's going to shock you. And we spoke and I prayed and left. Today now I'm dedicating the vehicle. It is not a normal vehicle. Listen to this now. Everyone that no matter where you fix yourself, once you understand what it means to speak into your situation, even when you don't like it, just go ahead and speak. Stop complaining about where you are. The reason why you can't enjoy where you are is that you're talking too much about that place, downwardness. How can you receive the best from your wife, like mommy was saying, if you're complaining about the woman you got married to? Every time you're seeing one fault and one fault and one fault, how will she give you the best? Oh, she's like this. Oh, she's like this. Oh, how will she give you the best? You are complaining about your husband. Your husband is, how will he even give you the best? You are complaining, comparing and contrasting. Let me tell you something. No matter who you are, life, God said, he that compare themselves with themselves are fools. Am I communicating? I was sharing somebody in church last week. The person came and was complaining that talking about her husband, and then was talking and was saying, I just kept quiet. She was talking and talking and talking and talking. All the things we are saying are all factuals. They are all things you can lay hands to and say, okay, they are okay. But the Holy Spirit said, don't sympathize with that. Don't sympathize with that. Just leave her to continue. She spoke and spoke and spoke for like 30 minutes. I kept quiet. And when she saw that I was not talking, she said, are you hearing? I said, I'm hearing you now. Will I be talking as you're talking? We can't be talking. We are not. You're the one talking, so I'm hearing you. And now I just say talk. So go ahead and talk. So what the Lord was saying, all the things she was saying, she never said anything good about the man. And then I turned to her. I said, Madam, she asked. I said, you want this thing from this man, and then you are speaking like this to him, about him. I now see the problem. You complain a lot. Now, there are reasons to complain, we know. But as a Christian, you know that anytime you complain, you remain. If you want a change, you need to effect the change. Now you're complaining, it doesn't do this, it doesn't do this, it doesn't do that, it doesn't do that. Now, these things are real, we are seeing it. But can't you understand that it's not working? So your complaining is the reason. If you can begin to see the positive aspect of him and forget about the complaint, things will change. Every man that has negative part has positive part. The devil will so magnify the negative part and make you not to see the positive part. Because the devil is a home breaker. The devil is a destroyer of destiny. The devil is a destroyer of people whose future is glorious and very fantastic. You're not hearing what I'm saying here? So I told her, stop complaining. It is time for God to multiply the little thing that is left in your hands. Everything in your hands can grow. Am I communicating? If as a pastor I'm complaining about my church, how will my church grow? There's no way it will grow, because anytime I complain, I keep them the same place they are. Whatever they have to bring, that's it. Life is not about. I was telling somebody, do you know his pocket? Are you living in his pocket? He's not giving to you, doesn't mean he does. Maybe he does not have. Stop looking at people the way you see their dress. Some of them they dress, but their pocket is not dressed. You don't know? You don't know what I'm saying? They are dressed very, very okay, but their pocket might not be dressed. Don't you know that this clock covers a lot of things? Somebody say, yeah, now. So, yeah, God, I want to multiply that thing that is left. That little thing that is left, I want to multiply it. In 2 Kings chapter 4, there was a woman who had nothing, and she was a widow. You know the story. She went into what we call recession. Her life was frustrated. Her life was bastardized because her husband was owing so much of money. He was a prophet and he never did well. And somehow he died because of debtors. Because of people he was owing. And then now, the man was now, the same problem he was going through, he handed the same problem to his wife. And one day, the creditors have arrived and said, we need to take these two children because we had an agreement with your husband who is a prophet that if he cannot pay this other money, we'll take the two children. The woman said, but the man didn't tell me anything like that. He said, but it doesn't mean anything. Look at the agreement. They brought the agreement, the deeds of purchase, whatever agreement, and they looked at it, and the signature of the husband was there, and the woman began to cry. But listen to this. The Bible says she cried and she went to the prophet and said, man of God, your son, your prophetic son, my husband, is dead. And he's owing the creditors have come and they want my two children. What do I do? The prophet said, what do you think I can do for you? The prophet looked at her and said, what do you have left in your house? This is where a lot of people are missing miracles. Miracle is not 0 times 0. Miracle, God will always do a miracle when you present something. It means that there is always something left that you can make use of. Woman, what do you have? I don't have anything. I came to you because if I have something I would have paid. They say, no, madam. I don't have anything. Okay, but do you have? You don't have anything. Well, you have a cruise of it. Say, I have save one small oil. He said, that is what I'm looking for. Why are you neglecting what you have and looking at the one that person has? Extramarital affair is just simply looking at another person more than the one you have in your house. That's extramarital affair. Am I communicating now? That is it. Appreciating another person to the one you have. I said, that's a sin from the highest order. That's the truth. Now, the woman was having something which she was looking down on. And the man of God said, what do you? I said, I have a cruise. That is it. Speak to it. Multiplication starts with what you have. You underrate what you have, you can't go up. You look down on what you have, you can't go up. This is a problem of so many Christians. Praise the Lord. Somebody came for prayer sometimes and was telling me so many things about men of God. I said, sir, I've met this, I've met that, I've met that. But when they told me you, I said, let me come. But sir, all these people I've met, they are bigger than you. I said, madam, come out. Why should you come and tell me that? Are you comparing me with these people? You think he's in size? Or old age? Some old age is that age. You don't know. You think it's a platform? It might be the container might not be okay, but the content might be correct. When you buy a tin of milk, do you take the container and the content? What are you looking for? Is it the container you're looking for? You would have used the container and be putting in your shelf in your parlor. When you take the content, you throw away the container. Am I communicating? Some things are packaged, but the content is what we're looking for. So I told him, I said, madam, I can't pray again for you. I can never even pray for you. How can you come and telling me, okay, go and meet them now? You're saying this, that, because he came and we didn't ask you to pay any money. She said, well, she's just trying to express. I said, madam, you can't express myself. When you go to a DPR, do you express yourself? I asked her, I said, when you go to a DPR, all these people do you express? They'll tell you, hey, remove shoe. They will tell you, hey, madam, hey, go and bring something, snail back, go and bring shelf, go and bring this, and you want to bring all those things. Now you're talking to a man, you're telling me, he said, because that one at DBA, I say, oh, don't you know that Jesus is the head of all DBAs? And I want to say, I am complete in him. So it means that if he's the head, I'm the head, I'm also there. You're not hearing what I'm talking about. Somebody say amen. Of course, the lion in me, Rua, and then I told her, I need to pray. She was looking, she said, I said, I need to pray. Madam, I cannot pray for you. She said, but Pastor, I said, madam, leave this place. I cannot pray for you. She looked, stayed there for about 5 minutes. She said, now wow. I said, now wow, come out. Such people, how would I have laid my hands and pray? I'm deceiving myself. Because already she has compared me to where she's coming from. You're not hearing what I'm talking about here. So listen to this. What do you have in your house? We're talking about prophesying to what is left. Stop looking at other people and look into your life. And the Bible says, do you know that the miracle that would have solved that problem has been in the house, but she never knew? Some of you who are believing God for husbands who are not married, you don't even know that your wives and husbands are here. You're looking at Borono, London, Manchester, what they call it, New York, Canada. Some of all these abroad marriage, you go wait until your head go cut. I have a daughter here. I thought she would also give this testimony. She called me on Thursday, Friday, Wednesday. That there is one man I saw on social media. Listen to this, though. Social media. See, let me tell you, marriage, Facebook marriage is face. That thing they call it Facebook. They didn't call it body book. They say Facebook. So it's only face you see. You don't know how the person is, and you're celebrating over Facebook. So she told me, she said, the person saw her and then said, like, 1 month ago, they said chatting, and the guy said he wants to come to Abuja and visit her. I said, just like that. I said, yes. I said, okay. Now she's talking to me now. The man is on his way. Early morning, the man left and said he was coming. I said, just like that. I said, yes. I said, okay. The next thing. After a while, she said, but she now told me that they just called her now that the man had an accident at Lokoja. I said, scam. I laugh. I said, they don't come again. So they just got that the man just had to say that he's almost dying. So they are rushing him. So the last phone number he spoke to is who they called now. That's her. I said, can I tell you something? She said, yes. I said, that man is fake. No accident. Number two, they will soon call you to give them money. Send money. That is how you know that it's fake. She said, I said, they now called her. She said, yes, so that the accident is getting this, he wants some money. She now told them, my pastor has already told me people are fake. Facebook marriage. I have a daughter in church who went and saw one on Facebook. She has not even seen, she has agreed. She just brought the name to me. I look and say, you get this on bureau. She said, no, this one is good. That she's been having a good conversation. Listen to me, somebody can talk well with you, it doesn't mean well for you. You're not hearing what I'm saying now. So she was like celebrating. I said, leave this one. She said, no. I said, okay, no problem. When is it coming? She said, it's coming so time. I said, okay. I said, okay, if he's coming to see, say yes, okay. Because it's good not to say yes to somebody on Facebook until you see him. Because it's only face they are showing. You don't know his leg or his hand. Or you can go and snap and hold, but you don't even know that some of them don't even have legs and hand. You want a compliment, she said that. So one day she called me that the man has arrived. He's coming flying. And this one truly is the man. He flew from Lagos to International Airport, Abuja. So she called me that this man has arrived. I said, praise God, you can come with him to the church, let me see him. He said, Kai, Daddy, pray, this one, God, this is a miracle. I said, no problem. So she was having the phone. The next thing, she went, the guy has called her that he's coming. All right, so he's already in the airport. She should come and pick him. So she was rushing now and she could not call me. I said, okay, bring him to the church first. Let's scan him. So he went. She now said, the guy now, when she got to the airport, they just disembarked from the aircraft. And the man was calling. So, of course, people were calling their loved ones to come and pick them. So she picked. When she picked, she was not trying. She doesn't know the person. She now looked and then saw the guy that was talking to her. You know, when she saw the guy. When she saw the guy like this. So she said, hello. The guy said, I'm in Abuja. Where are you now? She said, where are you? She said, I just landed though. She looked. My father, my creator. If you see her the man like according to her, she ran away. She just said, please go back. She left and then called me. I said, has he arrived? She said, Daddy, this one is not your husband. Said the man bent. So what she saw on Facebook is not what she saw on Reebok. She's disdaining all the men around her. She's looking at Facebook. I'm not saying some of them can be correct, but majority of them they are full of hypocrisy. Can somebody say amen? And so the Lord told her, bring that thing you have. And the man of God made her to understand that the miracle you're looking for is in your hand. Prophesy to that. What does it mean? He said, go and borrow vessels. This is highly, it's loaded. Go and borrow vessels. Please understand this. If you miss it, you miss it all. Go and borrow vessels. That's what he told her. And then I told her, I said, you see this? I want you to start pouring the oil in the vessels. That is prophesying. Speak to that oil. Enter. As you are pouring the oil in the bottle, you are saying that, oh, bottle full. Speak right things to that bottle. In other words, believe that this oil can be enough to settle your matter. This is the easiest way to connect with spirituality and connect to the hand of God. When you connect, as you come to church and you believe in what we tell you from the altar, No matter the circumstances that comes around you, you are not bothered. Why? Because the word has been spoken forth. You didn't hear what I said? Did you hear what I said? Let me just share something with you from the Bible. You remember that there was a time the children of Israel was about to leave Egypt. Pharaoh, the Pharaoh that knew them had died, and now they are under serious molestation, humiliation by the Pharaoh that don't know them. So one day, Joseph came. This is highly prophetic. Joseph came to them and said, see, listen to me. If I die, once I die, please carry my bone and take my bone to our destination. Excavate my bone from the ground of Egypt. Put it in a casket. Take it to where we are going to. I want my bone to be buried in the promised land. The word has gone forth, and they never knew that one day Pharaoh will fight them. And then now, Joseph had died. But there was a prophetic one that has gone ahead of them. That you will get to your destination, so carry my bone. Now, when Joseph now died, after so many years, Moses came to deliver the Israelites. They now remembered what Joseph told them after so many years. Went and excavated the grave of Joseph, carried his bone, and fixed it in a casket. As they were going, Pharaoh now began to pursue them. Listen to this. They are confident. Understand this. Their courage was that we will get to our destination because already there is a word that has been fired before us. So whenever they see the bone, it makes them to understand that they will get to their future. Even if Pharaoh is coming with all kinds of authority, they know that it's just for a while. Weeping may endure for a night. Joy comes in the morning. What God has spoken to you must come to pass. But you see what? You neglect it, you underrate it, you mess it up by your physical surrounding. This is why you're still lingering. In Ezekiel 37, the Bible says God told Ezekiel, speak to the dry bones. Ezekiel, speak. We're still talking about speak. These are militant, these are army, these are soldiers. They are just wasting in the valley. Speak to them. Ezekiel prophesied to them, and there was a release of power. Bone add to bone. Strength came to strength. Sinews were all. They became flesh, and they were strong armies. If he has not spoken to them, they would have become bone until they perish. So why are you thinking that dry situation of your life can't turn around? You are neglecting the power of your mouth. The job the enemy has given to a lot of us is to focus us on what God has not done. He has made us to underrate what we have. He has made us not to appreciate what we have. He always makes us to see what we don't have, and thereby always making us to look as if God is wicked to us. Oh God, why are you doing this? This God has been faithful. Don't underestimate what you have. Don't underrate what you have. My brother, if you're looking for something and you wake up and you are alive, glorify God. No matter the sickness, if you are not dead, that means you can be healthy. No matter the poverty, if you have not started begging, that means one day you're going to give. Jesus spoke to 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes. And these thousands of people were fed. May I conclude by saying this to you? It is time to speak to what is left. If you don't speak, God said He's going to take you away from it. It is time to awake it. Speak to what is left. It didn't say what is not left. Speak to what is left. You have a head, speak to it. You have a body, speak to your body. You have an account, speak to your account. Do not say no when God says yes. Even when you have reasons to say no. Do not say yes when God says no. Even if there are reasons to say yes. God's word is authentic. And God rules the world by His word. God created you and I by His word. And so let's prophesy. Let's speak. It does not matter what you're going through. Speak. Do not see yourself as if you are losing the battle. You have power in your mouth. Keep that scripture there. Let me close with it. The Bible says, Revelation chapter 3 verse 2. It says, speak. It says, be watchful and strengthen the things which remain. Is that the scripture we quoted? No. Yes, that's it. It says, be watchful and strengthen the things which remain So something is remaining. Somebody says something is remaining. Something is remaining. That are ready to die. The thing is about to die. Why? Because it's not having enough energy. It's not having enough strength. It's not having enough leverage. They are ready to die. Leave it there, please. Strengthen. Somebody say, I'm strengthening now. Strengthen. Until you know, there was a time they came and attacked David. David lost all that he had. His wife, his children, they are all, he was working for God and all these things left him. When he came back, he was so discouraged. And everybody started throwing stone at him. Have you come to a point where people you believe start cursing you for not doing what you're supposed to do? People you speak to are beginning to see you as an enemy. That you are there, this is happening. Am I communicating? Just like as a servant of God, certain things happen without my notice. You say, okay, say they see road, why you don't see this one? I've been in that situation before, and people laugh at me and mock me. Sometimes God allowed those things to happen to also make you know you are man. You are not God. But people have forgotten the fact that as men, we also have phrase. Am I communicating now? Am I communicating here now? They were throwing stone at David. These are the same people that he fed. They were throwing stone at him. These are the same people that he was taking good care of. They were maligning him, laughing at him, mocking him. But friends, you know what he did? He encouraged himself in the Lord. A time will come in your life, nobody will talk to you. You will talk to yourself. Pastor should not be your priority. A time will come, you are just left alone. It is that thing you say to yourself that will make you. He encouraged himself, because this time all the priests, all the leaders are all stoning and look at you. You say you are fighting for God. You came back, all your family we are taking out. Why can't God protect us? Well, if we are fighting for God, you see, you have sinned. You know, certain times when you make mistake, they say you sin. Anytime some things happen to people, they say, first of all, people will refer to sin. David was not sinning, no. He was fighting, and God was there when the enemy invaded Ziklag. You're not hearing me. Anytime you are in God's will and the enemy attacks, it's because God wants to bring a change. Because David in Ziklag, that was not his destination. His destination is Jerusalem. What is he doing in Ziklag? A little village. And God said, this guy is already making a king himself out of Ziklag. So let me leave him, push him out, and destroy that Ziklag so that I can take him to Jerusalem. That was the plan of God. So certain times some things happen to you, and everyone start talking about it. Let me tell you, when you are losing what you think that you are holding on in God, don't so much worry yourself about the environment. Check whether God is up to something. When God is up to something, the devil is down to nothing. And this is why the church must understand that Ziklag will be burnt before Jerusalem will be put in focus. Do you know when he came back and found out that, oh, the only thing I have is gone. Hey, this small Ziklag is gone. You know, God, you can't protect this world. I went to fight for you, and you look at it, just what is it? And God told you. But when he saw himself, that's where I want us to get our message from. You must not judge yourself by your environment. It has nothing to do with who you are. Who you are is based on what he says to you. You can't be losing the battle outside, but when you lose the battle inside, you are finished. The greatest man in life is not the battle he fights outside. It's the battle he wins inside. Can I say this? David was killing Goliath, but they can't kill seduction. The battle inside is bigger than the battle outside. You are the product of your thoughts, not the product of your world. You are the product of your thoughts, not the product of your world. There was a strong battle against the Israelites. Against Pharaoh, what they call it, Goliath. And he won Goliath. But when he saw little Bathsheba, he couldn't. So the battle inside is bigger than the battle outside. But most of us concentrate so much on the outside battle and leave the inside battle. I'm done. Rise to your feet. I'd like you to pray this prayer. Just prophesy in the next 2 minutes. Father, I prophesy to everything I have within me that is dying. Prophesy to my bank account. Prophesy to my life, my body, my system, prophesy everything that you think that is dying. Prophesy. Speak to God about it. As long as you're under grace and you're living in righteousness, speak to it. Open your mouth and begin to prophesy. Even if it's 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, it can be enough to feed 5,000 people. It can be enough to take you. You as a woman can become that oil, can become the reason why God will deliver you. Open your mouth and prophesy. Don't complain. Speak to it. Mashabala gadabahila. Elia katuske prakatazia. Mitasi katuske palibrados avaya. Miatsuta paya. Inklekosh kapa. Zituva matama opralats. Elikatus kapa itea. Lisa infatapa akupre ikapulia. Zitata. Alo shabahia avantopaya. I prophesy. I prophesy to everything that is dying in our ministry. I prophesy in this church, every area that is dying. I prophesy life. I prophesy life in all the facets, in all the units, in all the organizations, in all the dimensions of this ministry. I prophesy life. Like a dry bone, I speak life. I speak life. I speak life over everybody that is dying spiritually. I speak a revitalization. I speak a revitalization. I speak you alive. Resurrect. 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 Makupa intakopa ikala. In that office that is not working, I speak prosperity. I speak prosperity. I speak favor. In Jesus' mighty name. Jesus went to the grave of Lazarus and he told them, he said, let them just believe. Believe that I am the resurrection and the life. And he spoke. He spoke to the dead man. Dead business. But your heart is in the business. That's what I'm talking about. Dead family. But your heart is still in that family. Dead career, but your heart is still in that career. Dead contract, but you still have mind in that contract. Dead body cell, system, tissue, blood, whatever in your body, but you still believe that that is your body. That's the Lazarus I'm talking about. And Jesus said, Lazarus, he spoke. He didn't pray. Prophesy. He spoke, and Lazarus came forth. That is the spirit of what we call definition in life. He didn't go and start calling. All the dead came. If he had said dead come, the whole person in that grave, all of them in those graves, all of them will come out. But he had a personal connection to Lazarus. Until you identify what is dying in you, you will make mistake in life. You must identify that area that is dying, but your heart is in it. There is a relationship that is dying, but your heart is, they don't know what to do. You don't know what to do, but he is dying. So Satan is telling you, just no, leave that relationship, leave it. But your heart is there. But physical things is making you, hey, speak to it. Speak to it. Speak to it. Your heart is what directs you. It's not your flesh. Your flesh is what the devil works with. But your heart, the moment your heart does not condemn you, every other condemnation is rubbish. Hey, listen. Lazarus, come forth. And what happened? He came forth. He that was dead walked out from the grave majestically and stand at the gate of the grave. He said, loose him and let him go. I stand on that same platform as a mega voice today. Whatever is dying in your life, I said the same way my master said it. Lazarus, come forth. Let that dead thing be alive. 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 Praise the Lord. I said, praise the Lord. One of my sons here had some issues in where he was working, and the next day they just cook up stories and whatever. Give him a letter. Suspension. And he called me. I said, listen to me. Yes, whatever has happened, but you're going back there. Don't complain. Don't bother. That period of suspension, use it to really revitalize yourself. They will call you back. They will call you back. And this thing that happened will even bring honor to you. So see what I've told you and be talking in that dimension. And to God be the glory. They called him back. And in fact, they had to email him and tell him so time start, come back to work. There are people that will have similar cases that they'll just give them letter and then sack them. Listen to this. Once the enemy set up something, don't conclude by saying what they think they have. Some of us conclude when the enemy starts. For instance, now you go to the hospital and they say, "Madam, it's like you say, cancer." You have concluded what they are thinking. You go to them and say, "Oh, it's like sack," and then you use your mouth and say it. Don't conclude for the devil. It will look like, but it's not it. Everything that glitters are not gold, or it's not gold. It looks like this. Look like it. The enemy roars like a roaring what? Lion. It's not a lion. Please understand. Don't conclude when they say something with your mouth. This is where the problem is. They give you a letter, praise God, you are seeing a letter of promotion, a letter of exaltation. Yes, everyone will say, but it's not your concern because you already have a mandate with God. I pray for you today. As we are ending the month of February and entering into another month, I prophesy that as the month is ending graciously with you. Is ending graciously with you. Anything that you are not getting is because heaven is packaging it for you. When something is delayed, it doesn't mean that you are wrong. It means that heaven is setting up things. He went to the pool of Bethsaida. He said, "Hey man, stand up, take up your bed and walk." Everybody was entering the water. That man didn't enter the water. It will look as if you're not getting it the way they are getting it. When your own will come, it will be bigger than theirs. Write this in your mind. Your testimony might be the latest, the last testimony. But every last testimony is a latest one. I prophesy to you today, in no distant time from now, those things that are about to die will be alive. They will be alive. They will be alive.